Hello guys, girls, got a treat for you today. Right now I am in the Old Hall Hotel, which is in Buxton, and I am in the room Mary Queen of Scots stayed. So I'm just going to give you a little look around this room. And I'd also like to say, whilst I'm doing that, if you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel. Like the video, please. It's always nice to get support. Wow. You wouldn't believe how I feel in this room right now. I've got the REM pod set up on the bed. I've got a K2 meter set up on the fireplace, and I just want to show you. There she is. I believe that's Mary Queen of Scots, but there are numerous other portraits, pictures, which adorn these walls. Some very interesting stuff. Now, I have been told this room in particular, wow, now that's weird. I take it the camera heard that, but it could be just rickety floors, but it did sound like something moved. Call me paranoid, that's all well and good, but when you're in a room which is renowned for activity, yeah, I'm apprehensive. Just thinking, I think this there used to be the actual hotel, the way it was back in the day, but yeah, Mary Queen of Scots stayed in this room multiple times, and subsequently there are people that have stayed in here, because you can stay in here, you can book the room for an overnight stay or a few days, whatever it is. Wow. I'm pretty flabbergasted that the staff have kindly let me in here today to do this. I didn't expect that. Obviously, I don't think this is the original bed, but you never know. It's certainly a thing to behold. 4-poster bed. Okay, so there are reports from people that have stayed in this room that activities occurred. I was told today, I think it was a female that stayed in this room and didn't sleep a wink all night. She said her hair was being pulled and various other things to keep her awake. I've heard of one of the staff some time back now. They put fresh towels down in this room and they were thrown across the room. So here I am. What I'll try and do is a bit of calling out, see if we can entice anything. So I'm sat down still, and we're going to see if we can get anything to happen. Spirits, if you can hear my voice, you know why I'm here. Just heard another noise. I've come here today to hopefully get to hopefully get interaction from you. Mary, if you can hear me, I come with nothing but respect. I know you stayed in this room. but you were in the custody of someone. And I know you etched your name into the window of this room, which sadly now it's not here, it's in the museum. I know your energy's in this room. And I know you can probably hear me and feel me right now. I've put a device on the bed in front of me called a REM pod. It's got a red light on it. It only lights up and makes a sound if you go near it, or any spirit goes near it. That's all it does. It will not harm you, I promise you. So if you want to show me that you are there, you can go and touch that device and it will set it off. There is also a device over here which lights up if you go near it. Again, it does no harm. But I've come here today to get some kind of interaction, if that's possible, from spirits that are known to reside in this building. I'm going to put a cat ball down as well. I'm going to put that on the fireplace. Right there. So that is there. Look at that. And I need to just say that is a grand fireplace. Obviously it's not working now, but it was at some point, and I presume when Mary was in this room that would have been a roaring fire. So, spirits, if you are present in this building, I know you can hear me, I know you can probably see me. I want you to show me your presence. Can you make a sound? A noise? Can you knock on something? Can you hear me, Mary? I know you can. I know you stayed in this room. Did you stay in this bed? Can you do this? Can you repeat that to show you're here? Come on, make a sound for me. I've been told the wardrobe, the door opened or shut on its own, and the coat hangers inside were rattling. What can you do to show me that you're here, that you can hear me? Can you speak? Any spirits that are willing to come forward? I know this building's got great history. Is the spirit here that pulled the lady's hair that stayed in this room? My name's Stuart. I live in this town of Buxton. I'm not here to harm or ridicule or judge in any way. Here to communicate with you. Who's here, if anyone, in spirit that can hear me? Your energy's part of this place. Let me know where you are. Can you give me any kind of interaction or sign you're in this room? Or you're willing to come and communicate in any way? Can you affect any devices I've put in this room? Can you hear me, Mary? Can you set that device off on the bed? If you walk up to it, that is what it will do. Can you repeat that if you can hear me? I'm going to sit at this desk. I wonder if you ever sat at this desk. Is this an original desk when you were here? I want you to build your energy. I know you're here somewhere. Your energy will not dissipate or disappear from this building. I might turn a light off and see if this will help in any way. I've turned the lights off. Maybe you're a bit more comfortable coming forward. I'm going to put the REM pod on the floor near the door, I think. Right. Okay. Any spirits that can hear me? Do you remember walking through the door into this room when you perhaps stayed here? I know various nobility has stayed at this place, this building. I know this building goes back to the 1500s and before. I'm going to roll this ball across the floor, and I want you to interact with it if you can. Okay, so we need that over there. That's better. Come on, spirits, I know you're there. Can you repeat this? Come and walk into this room using that door. If you speak, I might not hear it, but this camera might. Can you do that? I have got another device called a spirit box, which I do use to communicate with spirits. I will use that. But can you give me a sign you're here if you want to communicate with me? Where are you? Can you make a sound in this room to signify where you are right now? Can you whistle to me? I understand someone did stay in this room and use a Ouija board to communicate. If any spirit is here that may have used that board, can you let me know? Can you make a sound? When I first walked into this building, I could feel the energy of this building and this room. I can still feel it. I know you're there somewhere. What can you do in this room to let me know you're here? Use all your energy. Perhaps you've had a lot of energy you've stored up. Today you can unleash it. Do you want to show me that? I know Mary, Queen of Scots, stayed in this room, as I say, and she used to partake in the drinking of the water from St. Anne's Well. And the inscription she left in the window, it's believed she left in the window, basically said she won't be able to partake in the water. She's leaving, probably for the last time. Do you remember that, Mary? Okay, so it seems quiet now, whereas when I first came in the room and I walked over here, I heard something move, like it displaced. Could have been that mirror, and it could have been because I walked on the floorboards. I'm not sure, but that's my guess. What I'm going to do, I brought the spirit box. I'm going to use it. Maybe we'll get communication. Maybe we'll get Mary to say her name. We shall see. There is another room in here, which is the bathroom. Don't need to go in there. Okay, so I'm going to go set the spirit box up and then we'll see what happens. Alright, spirits. In my hand is a communication device known as a spirit box. You are able to manipulate this to talk to me and answer me. Firstly, are any spirits present with me right now in this room? Can any of you tell me your name if you are here, please, using this device? Can you say your names? Who's here, if anyone, in spirit? I've heard this building is active, this room as well. Do you want to speak to me if you are a spirit and you are here? I'm going to ask for Mary to come forward. Mary Queen of Scots. Is Mary here? If Mary can hear me, on the floor is 2 devices that light up if you go near or touch them. I can feel the atmosphere changing in here, guys. What spirits are here right now? Who's here in spirit? Hello. I want you to bring Mary forward to speak to me, please. Is Mary here? Can Mary say her name if she's here? Mary Queen of Scots, you stayed in this room. Do you remember? Can you speak to me? Can you come forward and speak to me, Mary? Can you show your presence on this device? Which spirits are here right now? What are your names? I know you can hear me. You can communicate with me using this device.
Look.
Where's Mary Queen of Scots? Mary, did you used to sit at these windows, looking out of these windows? Do you have memories of doing that when you were a human? You slept in this room, Mary. Are you here? Are you here? Did you enjoy staying in this building, this room? Come forward. Come and speak to me. I understand, Mary, if you can hear me, that you were in the custody of an earl, which is why you were here. Do you remember that? Do Do you have memories of being here? Or any other spirits attached to this building? Is your energy here? Who else is here? The device I'm using for you to talk to me will give you a voice that you can use. Mary, you were fond of the water in Buxton, the spring water. Do you remember drinking it? St Anne's Well. Do you remember? If you do remember, can you say water or Buxton? Can you set the device off on the floor near the door? Have you got enough energy to do that? Use my energy as well if you need to. Can you go near the device on the floor? Is there anything you want to say, Mary, if you can hear me? What would you like to say to people that can hear this when it's able to be seen by others? Do you mind me being in this room right now? Does it bother you that I'm here? Does it bother you that I'm in this room trying to speak with you? Come and use my energy. Show me what you have shown other people. Can you do that? What can you do to show me? I want you to say your name, Mary, if you are here. Can you do that? Show me that you are actually there. Can you say your name, Mary? Can you try to say your name? Spirits, if you hear me, I'm not going to leave this device running much longer. If you want to interact, communicate visually or by audible, did you say it's hard? I know it's hard. You know why I'm here, don't you? You know I've come to speak with you. Can you show me a sign of your presence in this room? By walking to that red light on the floor. Can you kick the ball? What can you do to show me your presence? You've shown other people when they stay in this room. I've heard people were frightened and didn't manage to stay the whole night here. Are the spirits that frightened them here? Can you show me anything right now? Do you only scare certain people? Is it because you don't like certain people? Can you make any sound in this room? Can you bang on anything in this room for me? People have heard you do that before. Can you do it now? I am hearing noises, but I think they're coming from different parts of the building. Come and join me in this room. Can you do that? Can you come into this room? Well, spirits, I gave you the opportunity to speak to me. Mary, if you've come through, I don't know yet if you have. I presume you may have done. But we will see when I go back through this video. I'm going to ask for any spirits that have used this device to speak to me to now go back to where they were. Do not follow me, please. Do not follow me. I'm going to end this session now. Thank you, spirits. I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye, spirits. Goodbye. Okay, that's interesting. Whilst running that device, I could hear various noises. Some are coming from different parts of the building, but I could hear something right at the side of me here. Like, I can't even explain it. Like the tink of something rattling, almost. And I can't hear it now. I did hear some replies come through on that spirit box, but as yet, And is usually the case. I won't know every reply that came through until I edit this video. But I heard some interesting replies on there. Definitely. So far, no device has been triggered. Not the REM pod, not the cat ball, and not the K2. Let's go for a little walk in and around. I haven't got a mobile phone with me, it's at home. So no mobile phones will be triggering this. Well, spirits, considering this is meant to be an active room, what are you going to show me? I'm giving you the opportunity to show me by making sounds in this room before I go home again. Excuse me. So I keep hearing little noises, but I can't pinpoint where they're coming from. And I don't know what it is. I don't want to say it's paranormal. I know this floor has floorboards and it's got wooden furniture and whatnot. But I do keep hearing little things. I know there's distant noises in the building, but I don't know it's not them I'm hearing. It's different. There you go. The wardrobe. Was that you, spirits? Can you do that again? Now the K2 meter's over there, and that's not moving. Now, I have to question why that wardrobe's just done that. I mean, it could be because I walked over there and obviously disturbed the room and it's resettling. If that was you, spirits, can you do it again? Just to show me. I had the spirit box running and gave you the opportunity to speak to me that way. And I think you did speak to me that way. I'm now asking for you to do something else in this room. If you can do that for me, that would be fantastic. That's what I'm here for. And I show people this. I show people that you are still around in spirit. Is that what you would like? You may be in the spirit world now, and you may be remembered in history, but I can still show your possible interactions, if you are willing to do so. Are you willing to do that? I can hear voices in the building, but not in this room. They're obviously staff members or people staying here in the hotel. Well, spirits, the battery on my camera's going down. I don't think that's anything paranormal, it's because I'm using it. So I'm not going to be here much longer. Now's your opportunity to let me know, give me a sign that you are indeed part of this building, part of this room. I'd love to sit here all night. That's going to have to wait for another occasion. I believe someone left a camera running in this room, and when they returned there was something caught on that camera. I've also heard things have been seen on security cameras in this building. I'm here in the hope you can do something so people can see it. Come and say something in my ear. I know spirits can do that. I'm asking you to come and do that if you have the energy or the will to want to do that. I'd just like to say on this video, obviously when I go through it and edit the video, it will be up for people to watch. I want to say a massive thank you for the staff that run this hotel. It's an amazing place. Obviously this room is the room Mary Queen of Scots stayed in. I think it's room 26 this. So anyone who's not stayed here before, I can't say enough good things about it. It's an amazing building. You'd love it. I'm not plugging the place, it don't need that. It does successful enough as is. But phenomenal buildings deserve recognition, and this is certainly one of them in Buxton. I believe it's one of the oldest buildings in Buxton as well. And this actual building used to have part of a fort, or it was part of a fort. I have briefly read some history on it. But yeah, big thanks to the staff for letting me in here and doing this. Hopefully there's nothing picked up on the spirit box which is too frightening for anyone who works here or wanted to stay here. As of now guys, I'm going to end this investigation. It's only been short, but we do know from previous things I've done communication wise, you know, spirits can communicate, drop in and out, come and go and follow you. So hopefully I'll be back here again, and hopefully I'll be staying the night at some point. I've already inquired about that. So if you watch this video, please like and subscribe it. This is why I do it. I've been wanting to get in here for a while, and here I am, and you get the privilege of seeing if I captured anything on camera. I'm thinking communication wise I will have definitely got stuff through. For spirits to actually manifest and do something audible, furniture, knocks, or using the surrounding fittings and fixtures, it requires a vast amount of energy. They can do it, they have done it, but you can't always get it on command. Right guys, that being said, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this place, it is phenomenal. And yeah, I'm just stood here taking it all in. So I'll see you again on the next one, whether it's a communication session or I get out somewhere. But for now, take care. I'll see you again.